Hi there makers, and welcome to today's tutorial. All the materials you'll need are right here, and if you would like to purchase, they're all linked down below. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this cute and cuddly teddy bear. There is a free pattern available. It's linked down below together with the paid version if you prefer that. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and let's get into the tutorial. To make the ears, we're going to start by making a magic ring. And you're going to secure that with a single crochet. So into this magic ring, we're going to go ahead and place 6 single crochets. And you're going to double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now you're going to pull onto that shoulder tail or that loose tail and close that magic ring. And you're going to slip stitch to the very first single crochet you made of the row. And just like that, you have done row 1. So to begin row 2, we're going to be increasing. So we're going to be placing two single crochets into each of the 6 single crochets to give us 12. So chain 1 and place 2 single crochets into that first single crochet. 2 single crochets to the next, and 2 single crochets into the rest to give us a total of 12 single crochets. I mean 11 and 12, and now I'm going to slip stitch to that very first single crochet we made to close the round. Just like so, and then you're going to chain 1 and get started on row 3. So row 3 up to row 4, we're just going to be going around placing 1 single crochet for a total of 12. So just 1 single crochet all the way around, and you're going to do this for a total of 2 rows to give us a total of 4 rows. So just 1 single crochet all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the 4th row. So at the end of your 4 rows, so far this is what it should be looking like. So clearly this is the wrong side and this is the right side. So now we want to close our little ear. So I'm just going to chain 1 because now we're going to be closing the ear to make it look like that. So since we have a total of 12, and by the way, you want to take this little tail and tack it in. So since we have a total of 12 single crochets going around, we want to connect these 2 sides to make it 1. So we're going to be connecting 2 stitches together to give us a total of 6 single crochets. So I'm going to find my first single crochet on this side like so, and do the very same thing for the other side and connect those 2 sides to make a single crochet. So that's 1. Find the next 2, find the next, and 3, find the next, 4, 5, and 6. Now you want a single crochet to secure. Grab your scissors and cut it off. You don't need to leave a tail for this because there is no need for a tail. So you want to go ahead and make 2 of these, and then I'll meet you so that we can get started on the head. So at the end of row 1, 2, 3, 4, this is what it looks like so far. And for row 5, you're just going to go around placing 18 single crochets, normal this time. So just go all the way around and place your normal 18 single crochets, and that's for row 5, and then I'll meet you so that we can get started on row 6. So now to begin working on our head, we're going to bring in the white yarn and start off with a magic ring. In that magic ring, you want to go ahead and place 6 single crochets. And then as usual, you want to double count to make sure you really do have the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull onto that tail to close. And now slip stitch to close the row. So that was row 1. Chain 1 for row 2, and just as we did with the ears, you want to place 2 single crochets into each and every stitch of the round, giving us a total of 12 single crochets. And that's my 12 single crochets, and then I'm going to slip stitch to that first single crochet I made to finish off row 2. Chain 1 to begin row 3. Row 3, we're going to be placing 1 single crochet and then an increase, 1 single crochet and then an increase. So into that first stitch, you want to go in with 1 single crochet. And then into the next one, you want to go ahead and place an increase. And then 1 single crochet. And then go ahead, and place an increase. So at the end of this row, we're going to have a total of 12 single crochets. And just like that, we have a total of 18. I'm going to slip stitch to that first single crochet I made and chain 1. And then for row 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just going to go around placing 1 single crochet. So we're going to end up with a total of 18 single crochets. And I will meet you at the end of row 4. So to finish off row 4, we're going to be slip stitching into that first row, but we will not be slip stitching with that white yarn that we were working with. We're going to be finishing off or slip stitching with the nude color or whatever color your teddy bear's body is. So I'm just gonna tug onto that white yarn and also tug onto that nude yarn, chain 1, and I'll be working over this tail to avoid slippages. So now we are about to begin row 5. So for row 5, we are going to have a total of 24 single crochets. So we're going to be doing 2 single crochets and an increase. So let's make our first. There's 1. And there's 2, and as I'm doing this, I am working over this tail, and then into the next one we'll do 2 single crochets or an increase. So now if you want, you could drop that yarn at the back because we have secured it enough, or you can continue working over it until you can't see it anymore. And now we're going back to 2 single crochets followed by an increase, and you're going to do this all the way around for a total of 24 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end of the row. So now to get started in row 3, before we begin, if you have safety eyes, this is the best time to place them on row 5. I will be using yarn since I do not have safety eyes. So if you want to do what I'm going to do, just stick around. We're going to do that at the very end. So to begin on row 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, row 6, we'll be doing 3 single crochets and then an increase to get a total of 30 stitches. So 3 single crochets and increase, and this increase is going to rest where the previous increase was. 3 single crochets and then an increase, and you will do this all the way around. At the end, double check to make sure you have a total of 30 single crochets. To begin row 7, we want to have a total of 36 single crochets. So we'll be doing 4 single crochets and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets followed by an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by an increase. So repeat this all the way around and make sure you have a total of 36 single crochets at the end of the row. So for row 8 up to 10, you're going to be going around placing 36 single crochets. So just 1 single crochet all the way around for a total of 36, and you're going to repeat that for a total of 3 rows, and I'll meet you at the end of row 10 with your 36 single crochets. So now that you're done with your 10 rows, this is what your head should be looking like so far. So to begin row 11, we're going to chain 1. So row 11 is where we're going to be attaching our ears. So we're going to start by making 10 single crochets before we attach our first ear. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I'm just going to go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm going to bring my very first ear, and you're going to count that you've got 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to be single crocheting these together with this round. So you want to start by inserting your crochet hook into that first single crochet of the ear, and then find the first of the 6 of the head, and then you're going to single crochet them together. So that's 1. Find the next single crochet of the ear and of the head, single crochet them together. 2, find the next end of the head, single crochet them together, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for this little tail, you can just drop it onto the back, or which would be the inside of our head, and then you want to place a total of 4 single crochets, because we're going to have 4 single crochets between the ears. So you want to go ahead and place 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you want to repeat the same thing for your other ear, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now you want to finish off by going around with your 6 single crochets, with your 10 single crochets, your last 10. So as usual, that tail, tuck it onto the inside and finish off with 10. You should have a total of 10. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and that's the end of the row. Slip stitch to join. And so far, look at that. You can already see that little teddy bear starting to come to life. So for the next row, we're gonna just go around placing 1 single crochet for another 36 single crochets, and then I will meet you right back so that we can begin on the decreasing of our teddy bear's head. So to begin row 13, which is going to be our first row of decreasing, so remember we have a total of 36 single crochets going around. So the first decrease row, we're going to aim for 30 single crochets. So we're going to be decreasing 6. So we're going to be doing the opposite of what we're doing when we're increasing, because the last increase, if you remember, was 4 single crochets followed by an increase. This time we're going to be doing 4 single crochets followed by a decrease. So I'm going to begin with you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. So I'm going to be doing an invisible decrease, and to do that, you're just going to go for the front loops, or the loop that's closest to you. Make a single crochet but don't finish, and then go into the next front loop or back loop. I don't know what you prefer to call it, but the one that's closest to you. And now you've got 3 loops on your hook. Decrease. I'm going to do that with you one more time. 4 single crochets, and then decrease. So into the loop closest to you, and then into the next one. So now I've made 2 stitches into 1. So you're going to continue doing that all the way around. 4 single crochets and then a decrease. 4 single crochets and then a decrease. And at the end you want to count to make sure you have a total of 30 single crochets. So you go ahead and continue doing that, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So for row 14, we're trying to have a total of 24 single crochets at the end of the row. So we're going to be doing 3 single crochets followed by a decrease. Chain 1. So 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease, just like I showed you. 3 single crochets, followed by a decrease. So you're going to repeat this all the way around, 3 single crochets, followed by a decrease, and I will meet you at the end of the row. So now on row 15, we are trying to go for 18 single crochets. So we're going to be doing 2 single crochets followed by a decrease. So that's 1, 2, and then decreasing. And then 1, 2, followed by another decrease. So at the end of row 2 is where I prefer to do the stuffing, because I think it's so much easier to stuff before the hole becomes very small. So obviously I'm going to be stuffing with the very same yarn. I don't have polyfill, but if you have polyfill, at the end of row 2 is the best time for you to start stuffing your teddy bear head. So I'm going to finish off camera going 2 single crochets followed by a decrease, single crochets followed by a decrease, and then I will meet you at the end of the row. So now to get started on row 16, I've already stuffed, so you can always stuff with whatever yarn vomit you have, but I think it's much better and safer if you use the same color as the body, because sometimes it tends to show out or to peep through, especially if your stitches are not as tight. So row 16, you want to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. So that's just a single crochet followed by a decrease, a single crochet followed by a decrease, and you're going to repeat this all the way around, and at the end of the row we should have a total of 12 single crochets. So now for row 17, which is also the last row of the head, we are going to be decreasing for all the stitches. So we have 12 and we're going to have 6, so we're just going to be decreasing all the stitches. So now at the end, you just want to chain 1. I've already done that. Leave a bit of a tail and snip off the yarn. And now we still have that little hole that we have to close right here. So you're going to grab your yarn needle and close off the hole. So I don't have a normal method or technique on how I do this, closing this hole. It's really whatever works. So just when I set your hook, pull it through the other side, go from a different angle, pull it through the other side until that hole is normal, just like so. And then I just love to weave in the remaining parts of the yarn. I just love to weave it in or through like that until I do not have much yarn left, because now what's left, I just pull on it a bit, cut, and then it's just going to disappear into itself. So you want to make sure you play around with your head to make sure it's nice and round and properly shaped. And just like that, we have finished our little teddy bear head. What's left is to now add the little details on the head, and we'll do that at the end. But so now we're gonna get started on the body. So to begin working on the legs, you are going to make a slip knot as we have been doing, securing it and placing 6 single crochets into the center of the magic ring. And 6, so after the 6 you want to pull that and close it. So we close by slip stitching to that first single crochet that we made. And then you want to chain 1 to begin the new row 2. So as always, row 2 is us increasing, so that we're gonna have a total of 12 single crochets. So we're gonna be placing 2 single crochets into each and every stitch. So I'm gonna do that off camera, because since we already know how to do that, and I will meet you so that we can get started on row 3. So to do row 3, our aim is to have 18 single crochets. So as we've been doing, we're going to be placing 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets. So that's 1, and it will be followed by 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, and it's going to be followed by 2 single crochets. And you're just going to do this all the way around. 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets, a single crochet followed by 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. So just like that, you're gonna slip stitch to join the end of the row and chain 1. So row 4, we're just gonna maintain the 18, just that we're gonna be doing it different. To separate the bottom sole from the rest of the foot, we're gonna be working to the back loops to create that little segmentation that we can see around here. So now place your first single crochet as a normal one. For the rest, you're gonna go into the back loops and place your single crochets. So you're gonna do that going all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So far, this is what it's looking like. So at the end of row 1, 2, 3, 4, this is what it looks like so far. And for row 5, you're just going to go around placing 18 single crochets, normal this time. So just go all the way around and place your normal 18 single crochets, and that's for row 5. And then I'll meet you so that we can get started on row 6. So to work row 6, we are going to do 3 sets of decreases, which is 1 single crochet and then decrease. We're going to repeat that 3 times to define our foot. So place your first single crochet followed by a decrease, and that's going to count as your first single crochet followed by a decrease. That will count as your second single crochet followed by a decrease, and this will count as your third. And then for the rest, you're just going to place single crochets, 9 single crochets, and the end result should be 15 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that's the end of the row. So you're gonna slip stitch, and then this next row, row 7, we're also going to do another decrease, and we want to aim for a total of 12 stitches. So we're going to be doing 1 single crochet and then decrease 3 times, and then we're going to make 6 single crochets. So that's 1 single crochet followed by a decrease to make it 1 single crochet followed by a decrease to make it 2 single crochet followed by a decrease to make it 3, and then we place 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now this little tail that's bugging me, I'm just going to throw that inside, and then you're going to slip stitch to join. Just like so. And now from row 8 up to row 12, you're just going to go around placing single crochets. And before you close it off, you want to make sure you stuff it, just like I did with this one. I just stuffed the bottom just up to here, and the rest is just, you know, the rows. So you can stuff it however you want. If you want to stuff yours all the way up to the top, you can do so, but I chose to just have the bottom foot stuffed. So from row 8 up to row 12, you want to go around placing your single crochets. I mean up to row 13, you want to go around placing 12 single crochets all around the top, and then you want to stuff, and at the end you want to close it and single crochet 6 to close, just as we've been doing with just like we did with the ear. You want to close both sides and single crochet 6 just like this, but don't worry, when I get there we'll do that together. So now I am done going around with my up to row 13. I've already stuffed the bottom of my foot, and now I'm going to go across placing 6 single crochets. So I'm going to grab the first stitch towards me and the one furthest, make a single crochet, and the second to make 2, make 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you just want a single crochet, grab your scissors and snip that off. So go ahead and make 2 feet, and then I'll meet you so that we can get started on the hands, on the arms. To start the arms, as usual, magic ring, and then you want to place your 12 single crochets in there. I mean your 6. Double count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Close, go around and increase until you have a total of 12. So after you're done with the 12, you're going to continue up to row 4, just going around with 12 single crochets. So right now on row 2, I'm going to increase and get a total of 12 single crochets. After I have the 12 single crochets, I'm going to continue the 12 for 2 more rows, so up to row 4. So go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll meet you so that we can get started on row 5 together. So to begin row 5, you want to start by making 3 decreases and then 6 single crochets to give us a total of 9, since we're still working with 12. So you're going to start by inserting your hook and pulling up a loop on the first and the second to make your first decrease, second decrease, and finally your third decrease, and then go around and just place your 6 single crochets. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now you just want to slip stitch to join, and chain 1. So for row 6, from row 6 up to row 6 up to row 10, you want to just go around and place your 9 single crochets. So row 6 up to row 10, and you do that for when you're done, do not fasten off the yarn, because we're now going to switch to the main dress color. So mine is going to be blue. Yours will be whatever color you want it to be. So now, before we finish off the row 10, to slip stitch, you're not going to slip stitch with the same nude yarn. You're going to bring in the dress color, which is the blue for me. Chain 1, and now work over the blue yarn to secure it. Go around for 2 more rows to get a total of 12 rows for the arm. So we're gonna go around for another 2 rows with the blue before we close with 8 single crochets. 4 single crochets. 8, sorry. Before we close with 8 single crochets. So I have worked over that blue long enough. I'm just gonna tuck the blue and the nude inside and go around and finish 2 rows with the blue. So I'm gonna meet you at the end of the 2 rows so that we can finish off the arm and get started on the body. So to finish this off, we are gonna go around connecting this side and this side, and we're gonna do this for a total of 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and since we had 9, we're gonna go to the nearest even number, which is 4 on each side, so giving us 4 single crochets, and chain 1, and just like that. So you don't have to cut off that. You could always just do what we did with the ears, just throw the longer tail on the inside of the body, as we'll be connecting this to the rest of the body. So be sure to make 2 of these, and after you're done, come back so that now we can start working on the body. So far, this is what we've made. We've made the arms, the legs, and the head. So finish off the other one, meet me right back so that we can get started on the body. To begin on the body, make your magic ring, and you want to place your 6 single crochets in there. And 6. Close that magic loop. Now you want to slip stitch into that first one that you made, and then you want to go around as we've been doing, increase 12. So place 2 single crochets into each and every stitch. I'm going to do this off camera, so you just pause the video and make your 12 single crochets by increasing into 2. By increasing 2 into each. Okay, so I'm clearly struggling with this. I'm going to try and make it a bit looser. So that I'm going to go around, place 12 single crochets, and then I'll meet you so we can get started on row 3 together. To get started in row 3, you want to have 18 single crochets at the end of the row. So we're going to be placing 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets. So that's 1 single crochet accompanied by 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets, and I'm going to do that all the way around until I have a total of 18 single crochets, and then I'll meet you right back so we can get started on row 4. So at the end of row 4, we're trying to have 27 single crochets. So unlike previously, where would be the next row would be 2 single crochets followed by an increase, we're still going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase. So at the end we should have a total of 27 single crochets. 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets. So you continue doing that all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the row. To begin row 5, we're going to be placing 2 single crochets followed by an increase. Two single crochets followed by an increase. So you want to repeat this all the way around. 2 single crochets followed by an increase. And at the end of the row, you should have a total of 36 single crochets. So let me meet you at the end of the row. Begin row 6 is also going to be the row where we start to connect our legs. So grab your first leg, because the beginning of the row 6 will also be where we start to connect one of the legs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Into the first 6 stitches, we'll be connecting our first leg. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. So far we've got our first leg, and then we're gonna place 12 single crochets. So there'll be 12 single crochets between the first leg and the next leg. So the little strand of yarn that was left off the leg, I'm just gonna pull that to the other side and proceed to place 12 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Bring your other leg. And connect. So obviously the first 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will be connecting to the leg. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. There we go. And now we're going to be making 4 single crochets before we begin making our tail. So this part is absolutely optional. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So make 5 single crochets, not 4, and then we're gonna make our tail in here. So the tail, to make the tail, we're gonna make 5 treble half double crochets, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, worry not, I will show you how we do it. You're gonna yarn over, just like so. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 only. So now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go back into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So that was 2 rounds, and we're going to do that for a total of 5 times. 3, 4, 5, and yarn over and pull through everything. And then you want to continue finishing off the row by placing single crochet. So you've got 7 single crochets left. No, actually you've got 6 single crochets left. So 1, you're going to push your little tail out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now you have reached where you began the row. So you just want to connect the row, and so we can get started onto the next row. So far, this is what our work is looking like. So after the row that we've just connected our legs, for the next 2 rows you just want to go around placing 36 single crochets. And after you're done with those 2 rows, I will meet you so that we can now change color and get started on the rest of the teddy bear. So now to get started in row 9, you want to chain 1. We're not going to change to blue yet. We're going to do 1 more row. And in this row, we're going to be single crocheting twice, followed by a decrease. And we're going to have a total of 27 stitches at the end of the row. So we're going to place 2 single crochets, just like those, and then you want to decrease, and then you want to place 2 single crochets, followed by a decrease. Two single crochets, followed by a decrease, and you want to do this all the way around, and at the end be sure to count to make sure you have 27 single crochets, and I'll meet you at the end. So now I've reached the end of the row 9. To begin row 10, we're now going to switch to the dress color, so you're going to slip stitch with the blue. And for row 10, we are just going to go around placing 27 single crochets. So that's my first, and I'm working over the blue tail to secure it. And I'm going to continue going around placing my 27 single crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So now to begin row 11, we're going to be making 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. So that's 1 single crochet, and then a decrease, 1 single crochet, and then a decrease. So at the end of row 11, we're going to have a total of 18 single crochets around. So I'm going to finish off camera and I'll let you guys carry on. 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. Row 12 and row 13, we're going to go around placing 1 single crochet for a total of 18, just like we had with the previous row. However, for row 12, we're going to do that different. So we're going to work into the back loops only. So that's the first one right there. And then you're going to work into the back loop for that one. We want to do this to create stitches for the dress that we're going to be working on. So I'm just going to go placing single crochets in the back loop for row 12, and then when we come back to row 13 we're going to be working normal single crochets, so we're going to be going into the normal stitches. So finish off row 12 in the back loops only, and then do row 13 doing normal single crochets, and at the end you should still have 18 single crochets. So finish that off and I'll meet you right back. So now to begin row 14 we're going to be doing 4 single crochets and then a decrease, and at the end of row 14 we should have a total of 15 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by a decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by a decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a decrease. So let's just double check to make sure we have 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to join in there, just like that. So for this row now, we're going to be attaching our arms. So just grab them, have them close to you. So get started with the first arm because we're going to be joining it right now. So we're going to place 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect it, connect your hook to your first arm and insert your hook into that first stitch to make your first single crochet. And then make your second. And then your third. And your fourth. The little excess yarn, throw it on the inside. And then we're going to have 4 single crochets in between the arms. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grab the second arm. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Insert your hook and connect. One, 2, 3, and 4. So now we should have 3 single crochets left. 1, 2, sorry, let me redo that. I ended up going into the same stitch twice. Okay. So now we should have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, and 3. Join. Slip stitch to join to the beginning of the row. Chain 1. Leave a tail to connect with the head. snip that off. So now, holding on to that yarn, we are going to get started on the dress. So I got started on the dress. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So you want to go to the back of your dress, or where that tail is, and find any spot, because we don't want to have a seam in the front of our teddy bear. So find any spot and connect the yarn to the row that we did the back loops in. So you want to chain 2, connect the yarn, and into that same stitch as you joined, place your first double crochet. So since this row we had 18 single crochets, you're going to have a total of 18 double crochets. So go around placing your double crochets just as I'm doing. The first row might seem a bit weird, but that's absolutely fine. We're going to start increasing on row 2. And as you can notice, I have not stuffed my teddy bear yet, because it makes it easier for us to work the dress. So I'm going to go off, continue working off camera, and I'll meet you to get started on row 2 of our dress. So I've just finished the first row, and I'm going to slip stitch into that first double crochet that we made, chain 2, and now we're going to start increasing. So we're going to be placing 2 double crochets into each and every stitch. So into that first, go in there and place 2 double crochets. Go into the next and place 2 double crochets, and place 2 double crochets into every stitch going all the way around. So I just finished row 2, and so far this is what the dress is looking like. It's still very short, as you can see, and I'm trying to cover at least the body of the teddy. So I'm going to continue working more rows. I might do 2 more rows just to see how long that's going to be, and then that will be it. So from here on, you're just going to place one single crochet into each and every row until you have your desired length. Or if you want to be like me, you're going to place you're going to work 2 more rows of the double crochet. If I said single crochet, I'm so sorry. 2 more rows of the double crochet. So I will meet you once I have the dress all done, then we can stuff it together and connect the head. And so after I added 1 more row, so I worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows for the skirt, or for the dress. And so far this is how much it's covering. It's quite short, but you know, it's doing the job. And I ended up with this seam at the back. We can always weave that in, or you can just, you know, cut it really short. Just like so. So now I've connected my needle to the yarn around the neck, because we're about to connect the head, and I've already done my stuffing of yarn. I hope you have polyfill, unlike me. So now you want to grab your head and follow that seam, the line down here, which is our seam, and you want to align it with the center of the teddy bear. So you want to make sure that the teddy is not slanted on the side, otherwise your teddy will have a slant. Unless you're going for that, you want to make sure it's nice and straight, and you want to make sure the nozzle is not too far back. It's nice and even, just like so. So I like to just hold it in place like that, and I'm going to start from where we ended that row. So that's somewhere at the back here, and I will start to seam my head. So this might take you a while. You might be starting and coming back to it, starting and redoing it, because you want to make sure that head is perfect. I'm going to finish off camera, but I'm just going to get started with you. So I'm going to insert the yarn into the head of the teddy, pull it out, and then I'll insert the hook into the neck, the blue part, and pull it through. Find the next stitch on the head, insert my hook, pull it through, and find my neck and pull through. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm still checking to see if it's even, and it is. Now going back to the head, and you don't want to pull too tight. You want to make sure it's just nice and snug. Come back to the head. So far that's what we've done. Make sure it's nice and even, which it is. Get back to the head, insert, and the neck. The whole time checking if the head is nice and straight, which so far so good. So I'm going to continue doing this and finish off camera. Once you're done, do not weave in the ends of your yarn yet. You want to make sure it's nice and even. Look at it properly and fix up the stuffing inside to see if your head looks fine, if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, take it apart and try again until it's perfect. So I'm going to continue doing this off camera and I will meet you right back. So here I am, just finished working on I just finished connecting my head, and so far that's what I have. So obviously you can now just push it down, twist it a bit to make sure everything is aligning and it's all in shape. I'm perfectly happy with what I've got. So now I'm going to go ahead and connect my black thread to start working on the face details. So this was round 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you remember, I mentioned that if you've got safety eyes, it's best you connect them on row 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's this row. So I just like to eyeball it to see where I want my eyeballs to be. And I think I want the first one to be right here. So I'm just going to go in with my hook and make small teddy bear eyes. So you're going to count how many times you're going through. So this is the second one for me, because you want to do the very same thing for the other side. 3, and 4. I think I'll just do 5 times. Let me just cut. Oh, not worry, we'll leave that in. So that was 4. And 5. I'm gonna do one more to make it 6. So before then, I'm gonna count about 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where my other eye is gonna be. So I'm gonna make sure my yarn goes through and comes out where I want my next eye to be. And there we go. So now I'm gonna push this other little tail that's sticking up. I'm just gonna push it through so our eye looks nice and neat. Play around with it so it's nice and even. There we go. So we did about 5 stitches there, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. That's 1. 2. 3. 4, and this is the 5th. So obviously I'm not gonna take it out to the very same place. I want the next place where the next spot for this needle to be where I want the nose to be. So you're gonna look at your teddy and see if you want the nose to be somewhere down here or up here. I think I want mine to be down here. So I'm gonna try and make sure my needle comes out of this hole right here. Right there. And there we go. I have just finished this eye. I'm gonna fluff it out nice so it's even, or at least close to even with the other eye. And there's our little amigurumi with itsy bitsy eyes. How cute. So now this is where I want the nose to come out of. So I'm gonna go back and forth to make the nose. That was 3 and 4. I think 5 will do. So now I'm gonna find the center of the nose for the line to be. So I want the line to come out right here. So I'm gonna insert my hook here and bring it out right here. Just like so. So now I'm gonna re-enter the hook right in between the nose or the nose line, just like so. And now I want to make the little smiley face of the teddy. So I want the smiley face to go from here up to here. So I'm gonna bring out the yarn right there, and then I'm gonna pull onto that line just like so and bring back the nose so it covers that area. And now I'm gonna insert my hook through there and come back out this side. You can always watch this twice if I'm going a bit too fast. And I'm gonna insert my hook through here and come out on that side on this spot right here. And insert my hook through there, come out the same spot. And one more time. So this time now our head is all done. So I'm gonna push the yarn, the needle all the way to the back. And then I'm gonna cut it off. And after I do so, I am going to just push the yarn in, come out and pull it so it's nice and comfortable, and even it out. Look at that, we have our little baby smile, baby girl smiling teddy bear. Just like that. I hope you like your crochet teddy because I absolutely find her so cute. And there's the back with her little tail right here peeping out. And there's her front. How cute is this? All made from scrap yarn, so honestly you don't have to throw out your yarn if you love making amigurumis. Here's a new project. You can make a few of these and you can sell, or you can gift them to little kids or people that you love, that love to collect amigurumi dolls. So I hope you loved this tutorial, guys. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and let me see you in the next tutorial.